Alright, last video I talked about the Clawbringer skill tree. This video I'll be talking about the Graveborn skill tree. So Graveborn is kind of a magic, like a spell based and a dark magic based character. If those aren't aware, dark magic is a new element, and it deals slightly less damage against all enemies. It's weaker against all health bars. However, it has inherent lifesteal built into the element. And the Graveborn class is kind of built around that element. Now for their companion, it's a Demi-Lich companion. Fate Maker is accompanied by a floating Demi-Lich companion that targets enemies at range and deals dark magic damage. And so that dark magic damage is going to heal the Demi-Lich and keep it alive. Whenever the Fate Maker casts a spell, the Demi-Lich will cast Hellish Blast, creating a homing projectile of the spell's elemental type, dealing damage to nearby enemies on impact. And similar to the Clawbringer, any increases to the Fate Maker's damage also apply to their companions. Now for the action skills, Dire Sacrifice. Fate Maker sacrifices some of their current health to deal dark magic damage and apply dark magic status effects to all enemies nearby. Dire Sacrifice deals bonus damage proportional to the sacrificed amount of health. So, that's kind of a Nova that deals dark magic damage. It's going to heal you when it damages them. It's going to apply a status effect, and the status effect will continuously heal you as well. And when you activate it, it drains a percentage of your maximum health. So the higher your health, the more health it's going to take away when you activate it. However, the more health it takes away when it activates, the more damage it deals. So being at high health will cause you to take more damage, but also deal more damage with the action skill. Reaper Bones. Fate Maker is fully healed, gains leech efficiency. Leech efficiency is that is the stat that tells you how much lifesteal you get with a dark magic weapon, or in this case, action skill. So Fate Maker's fully healed, and all of your weapons, regardless of element, gain leech efficiency and deal bonus dark magic damage for a duration, but you lose an ever-increasing amount of health per second. And when the Fate Maker would die, they become invulnerable for a duration, restore some of their health, and Reaper of Bones ends. So, you are fully healed, and all of your weapons gain lifesteal. However, your health starts to slowly drain. And then, when you would die, either due to combat damage or due to this constant life loss, you become invulnerable for about 3 seconds. That's what it was in the gameplay reveal anyway, it was 3 seconds. And then you go up to about 20% of your health, 20 or 30% of your health, and the action skill will end after the invulnerability duration. And however, you won't be at full during the action skill. It is very hard to kill you because of your lifesteal. And then when it ends, you are at low health, and it's very easy to die from what I've seen. But anyway, into the skills. Tier 1, Mortal Vessel. Max health is 5-point skill. Max health is increased. Leech efficiency is increased. So, increasing your max health makes your Dire Sacrifice deal more damage. And leech efficiency allows you to have better lifesteal, whether it's with your Reaper of Bones or with just dark magic weapons. Essence Drain. 5-point skill. Kill skill. Spell cooldown rate is increased for a duration. So spells replace your grenades. And spells replace your grenade, and rather than be like ammo, they just have a cooldown. And Essence Drain will make them cooldown faster. Faithful Thrall. Okay. It's notable this is not like the Berserker skill that reduces your action skill cooldown. So it just like takes a set amount of time off of it. This one just increases your cooldown rate, so getting multiple kills does not make it cooldown faster. It just keeps the effect going longer with Essence Drain. However, still, faster spell cooldown rate is powerful. Faithful Thralls, 3 points. The Fate Maker deals bonus damage for every companion they have. Companion respawn rate is increased. And from what we've seen in the gameplay reveal, this is 3% per level for a total of 9%. So if you have 2 companions, one being the Demi-Lich, and then the other one being either the Mushroom from the Spore Warden or the Wyvern from the Clawbringer. So if you have 2 companions, you will get 18% damage at all times, and then the companion respawn rate is increased. So this is just passive damage all of the time, and it's not weapon damage. So I'm assuming the damage formula works similar to how it did in Borderlands 3, which means this bonus damage is going to be its own kind of damage category that's not gun damage, which makes it a very powerful bonus, and pays you off for having multiple companions. On tier 2, Sanguine Sacrament, 3 points. Whenever the Fate Maker casts a spell, they regenerate health. Really good at keeping you alive, especially when you're using your health for damage. Dark Pact. Dark magic damage is increased. This will increase the damage of your dark magic weapons, spells, and also the damage of your action skills, which is very powerful. And also your Demi-Lich, and just the power of your Demi-Lich. Next skill, Harvest, 3 points. Kill skill. Companions deal bonus dark magic damage for a duration. This effect can stack. I don't recall the numbers on this one, but this is not just applied to the Demi-Lich. This applies to your Wyvern or your Mushroom as well, should you have those as your multiclass. And it stacks, so Harvest can be a very powerful ability. For your companions, if your companions are powerful enough to keep up an endgame, that is. Tier 3, Dread Covenant, 1 point. Portion of the damage taken by the Fate Maker is redirected to the Demi-Lich. When the Fate Maker reaches 1 health, they immediately restore health and sacrifice the Demi-Lich. Skills a long cooldown. So you have more survival because you redirect damage to the Demi-Lich. And if you were to die, instead the Demi-Lich dies and you get some health back. So if you're not focused on your Demi-Lich, if that's like not the main source of your damage, this skill's probably very good. Just kind of a second life. Which also synergizes quite well with Reaper Bones. Because Reaper Bones says if you would die, Dread Covenant says when you reach 1 health. So Dread Covenant with Reaper Bones active, you'll get down to 1 health. Dread Covenant will trigger, and you should, if it works how I think it works, you should get more time in your Reaper Bones before Reaper Bones makes you invulnerable and and the duration ends. However, that might not work the way I think it did. That might not work the way I think it does. However, based off the wording of these two, I think that's how it would work. Stain of the Soul. 5 points. Fate Maker spells deal bonus dark magic damage. So all of your spells, regardless of element, have dark magic added onto them. That's just bonus lifesteal on all of your spells, in addition to increased damage. Synergizes with Dark Pact pretty well. Essence Drain as well. You want to be casting a lot of spells. Works some Mortal Vessel, giving you more powerful life leech. It's generally a powerful skill, especially if you're using a lot of spells. Dark Hydra. Kill skill. 3 points. Kill skill. Chance to summon a Dark Hydra companion, dealing dark magic ability damage to nearby enemies for a duration. So, regardless of how many points you have in this, is a 60% chance to summon a Hydra. Putting points in it increases the amount of Hydras you can have. So 1, 2, or 3 Hydras. And it says Dark Hydra Companion, which makes me think that it is also counted towards for Faithful Thralls. So for every Hydra you have out, you'll have 9% additional damage from Faithful Thralls. So that's up to, with 2 companions, plus 3 points in the Hydra skill, that's up to 45% damage at all times. Just for getting kills and spawning these Dark Hydras in. So if that works how I would assume it works, that is a very powerful combo. Very good synergy, a lot of bonus damage on... a lot of bonus damage for the Graveborn. Even if you're not using companions, it's so much damage. Yeah, tier 4, Ascension, 3-point max. Kill skill, maximum health and spell damage are increased for a long duration. This effect can stack. So that it doesn't give you health, it just increases your maximum health. So you need to find another way to heal. But if you get a lot of kills and get your max health increased, heal, that makes your dire sacrifice deal more damage, and it makes your Reaper bonds last longer. It's a pretty powerful effect. In addition to just being spell damage, if you're on a spell-based build, skill's very powerful, especially because of the fact that it stacks, and it says it lasts for a long duration. Yeah. Punishment. 1 point. Whenever the damage casts Hellish Blast, there's a chance it'll be cast again after a brief delay. Hellish Blast is when you cast a spell to fire a projectile that spell's element. It's the part of the class feat. So yeah, punishment, chance to double attack. Tier 5, Lord of Edges. 1 point. Fate Maker gains increased damage and damage reduction the lower their health. So, especially good with both action skills, actually, because you'll sacrifice health when you activate Dire Sacrifice, meaning the Nova deals more damage. And with Reaper Bones, the lower your health gets, the more your damage will increase. And you don't have to do anything to lower that health, it just lowers on its own. So it's also just a 1 point skill. It's pretty free to pick up as you're moving down the tree. And possibly a lot of bonus damage. I don't recall the exact number, but it's probably a very powerful effect. Blast Gasp. 5 points. Whenever the Fate Maker deals spell damage, so more of the kind of spell build that we've seen, there's a chance to create an explosion dealing ability damage, which is the same thing as action skill damage, of the spell's elemental type to nearby enemies. The elemental explosion cannot critically hit. So, every spell you cast, and there's some spells that cast very fast, there's a chance to create an explosion, dealing ability damage to spell's elemental type nearby enemies. It's very similar to like Short Fuse that Moe's had in Borderlands 3. Just every hit has a chance to cause an explosion, which just deals bonus damage. If you have a splash damage boost, that should make this explosion stronger. And being a 5 point skill, possibly gets to some pretty high damage, makes it just a very powerful skill. Potentially powerful skill. Tier 6, the Capstone. Moreheim's Blessing. 1 point. Casting a spell automatically activates all of the Fate Maker's kill skills. So just in this tree, the Graveborn has 1, 2, 3, 4 kill skills just in this tree, plus the ability to multiclass. I think every character has at least 1 kill skill that will trigger off of this Capstone. So that's a very powerful effect. This was Zane's Capstone at one point. This is like very similar to Zane's Capstone. 1 point, activating his action skill triggered all of his kill skills. This is casting a spell triggers all of the Fate Maker's kill skills. And with the spell cooldown we've seen, the spell damage boost we've seen, and just the powerful kill skills in this tree alone, this Capstone is probably insane. And when you go into multi-classing, if you have a second class with a lot of kill skills or a lot of spell damage, as the spell shot, this skill's probably just very powerful and generally just amazing Capstone, especially during boss fights. Boss fights are not generally something you have access to a kill skill in, and this giving you access to your kill skills is extremely powerful effect. Yeah, that's all for the Graveborn. Next episode will be on the spell shot, and the game comes out, I'll be streaming my first playthrough live on Twitch. I'll have the link to that in the description, so check that out, and I'll see you next video, which will be the spell shot.